effects. Don't forget, this building was vaporized for the most part. That's asbestos that become aerosolized, and it's in their lungs. Now they've got all of these diseases that are eerily similar to Agent Orange and fibromyalgia, only much worse, severe pain in joints, illnesses that can't be described. And it's because literally, while all of us were recoiling, they were going forward first for recovery, and it was a rescue rather. It was a very long time before they said recovery, because they would not give up. And that, I think, was one of those psychological tipping points when they said, look, at this point, we're just trying to recover, not rescue anymore.
Lou, have you heard of cases where people have suffered from either post-traumatic syndrome, or whether they've had physical, some sort of physical ailments as a result of Ground Zero?
I've been, I had problems with breathing, with my upper respiratory system. I was lucky enough to be able to get that taken care of. And it was through a program that was run by the New York Fire Department. But I think almost all of us who were there have taken some sort of post-traumatic stress disorder briefings or meetings. We still meet once in a while. We tried, the group of us who worked together on the 11th, we try to get together at least once a year. I know at the 5th anniversary there were plenty of us there.
You know, when I read accounts of the First World War and poison gas attacks and people who survived that, Christy Mathewson, the great baseball pitcher, was horribly injured in the poison gas attack, and his lungs were scarred forever, and he died prematurely as a result. But when you read those things, or what happened at Iwo Jima, those accounts, that's the closest thing I've found in print to the accounts of the people who had to go in there and dig through this. And every once in a while they'd find someone. I was there once when someone was found. There's no words to describe it, and that's why we better have the images, because without the images we are forgetting. It's just the way we process things. We don't read as much as we used to. Storytelling isn't as good as it used to. We need the images, and the images are going to tell a very powerful story.
Of course, we've just been sharing some of these. There are many, many more that will be part of the documentary. I mentioned that it's not going to be available until the 10th anniversary. So I wonder why you're waiting another 2 years when, as Ed points out, and I'm certainly touched by these, that it could do the world some good today.
Well, it has a lot to do with the business.
Marketing, yeah.
Like you said, they 1, 5, and 10 are the numbers. On the 5th anniversary, we released an international version that didn't run in the United States. It ran in China. We had 250 million viewers. And we did a live segment from Ground Zero, and it was on the 11th, on the 5th anniversary. But to have 250 million viewers, I never imagined I'd ever have 250 million viewers for anything I ever made.
What message would you want to send to these rescue workers and all of these volunteers as September 11th has come and gone again here in the nation? What do you want to say to them?
It's my way of saying thank you. It's my way of saying that the United States, the world, appreciates what you did. What you did was very, very important, and if it happens again, we expect you to be there again.
You know, it's just terrifying to think that it could happen again, and yet until you pointed out that this is the 8th anniversary and that it was 8 years from the '93 bombing of the World Trade Center, all of a sudden now it puts a different perspective on it. Do you think Americans should be on alert, or what advice would you give to citizens?
The very first thing I'd say, read as much about this event, this attack, as you can. In addition to Lou's work, there are other things that are out there already. And I think we ought to demand to know how we came to that point in time. and also pause and reflect the extraordinary courage of the people who, once they realized the flight in Shanksville that went down, once they realized that other planes had been used as flying bombs, they gave themselves up. Now that's a selflessness that we just don't experience in this country very much. We've lost our way in so many respects in terms of immediate gratification, and it's all about me and all of that. But to put it aside for a moment and to say, there is a unique bond of courage that ties people through time, that took us from the establishment of this country through all the difficult parts of it. And when you get to September 11th, that's about the closest thing you and I can touch. We better find out as much as we can about that.
All right. On that note, Ed Trzynski, thank you very much for being back with us.
Thank you for having me.
It's always wonderful to hear your perspective, and we always learn so much from you and your experience. And Lou Angeli, thank you for sharing these images with It's Your Call. I'm quite touched that you would do that for us, and I wish you the best of luck with your production. And thank you for remembering all of those rescue workers and volunteers, yourself among them. Thank you on behalf of all of us. And thank you for watching. We'll see you later.